Storytelling differs when watching a movie or reading a book. And that's because with a video game, the player chooses basically what happens. And now I know there are a lot of cases where you follow a linear path and the story stays the same throughout. If you die, guess what? You respawn and you do it again until you do it correctly. And no matter how many times you play Mario 64, you're never going to beat the game and not save Peach and not bake that delicious cake for Mario. But then you have other games where your actions actually do have a purpose. And some of my favorite games are those storytelling ones, such as the Dark Pictures games, the Corey, Until Dawn, ones where you directly impact what happens in the story. Except, all those that I just said more stem towards horror-based games, trying to scare you or keep as many people as alive as possible. But what about ones where I just want my choices to actually impact the ending of the game? Well, I feel like I hardly see any of those. There are so many where you either do the right thing and progress through the game, or you do the wrong thing and it's a game over, you lose, you didn't do it correctly. The last two games I played, I thought that was what was gonna happen. And those are the Danganronpa series and Catherine. With Danganronpa, I wasn't familiar with how it worked. I thought there are 13 kids in the school and you want to try and keep all of them alive. And so then when I found out that kids are dying left and right, I thought I was doing it wrong. Only to find out, nah, it's more like Phoenix Wright. I still really enjoyed the game, but there was a little sadness of, man, I wanted to see if there was anything differently I could do. It felt like whoever I chose to hang out with didn't really matter in the end, I just kind of learned more about them. Only for them to die. And then there's Catherine. That one was the biggest disappointment. The idea of trying to juggle 3 relationships at once while you have this guilt that is just burying you deep within, and then a fun little puzzle climbing game. I like that idea, only for it to just be nothing but dialogue exposition and choices that don't matter. You do your climbing puzzle, you get to the top, they ask you a random ass questions and say, this answer will impact. Why? I didn't actually make a choice. I literally just said, yeah, you know, I kind of like company rather than being lonely. Next thing you know, I'm choosing this girl over that one? No, I didn't actually make the decision myself. And that's what sucks. I talk about all this to bring up a game that really caught my interest, but I didn't purchase it until it finally got discounted, and that is Road 96. A game that is so simple, and your choices actually matter. And I love it. In a day and age, in a climate where everyone is just so political, and you are viewed and judged based off of which party you support or whatever your viewpoints are, this capitalizes it perfectly. You explore this world of Petria, and you interact with all these characters that all have their own different beliefs, they have their own different experiences. Things happened, they lost loved ones, and in the end it's up to you to kind of influence how they should be. Or maybe they'll be the one to influence you how things should be. On my first playthrough, I wanted to play the independent route. The idea of, I'm just trying to leave, I'm not picking a side. And you know what wound up happening at the end? I learned more information, and then I wound up picking a side, and I started going more towards that. And so on my second playthrough I thought, we're going full liberal, we're gonna revolt and pass, and next thing you know, it was an entirely different game. Events occurred in a different order. Everything that I thought was going to happen, how characters were going to think and act, were totally different based off of my reactions with them. And the idea of the player actually choosing the route and story of this game was fun. It is fun, and that's what I really want. And is this my way of saying, go play this game? Well, of course it is, but it's also my way of kind of asking, where else can I find this? Who else can make this type of experience where the choices I make won't always be save this person or let them die, But sometimes it's just, I think we should do the right thing, or I think we should do the right thing in another way. And I think that's what really makes this game special.